Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Arch Linux install tutorial. Now today we're going to be talking about the Arch user repository. Now the Arch user repository, as this says, is the community-driven repository for Arch users. Basically, if you can't find a package within the Arch traditional repositories by searching through Pacman, you will be able to go into the Arch user repository and most likely it's going to be there. For example, you'll see here I'm on aur.archlinux.org. If I search for whatever package I'm interested in, such as GUVCView, which is an application that I can use to view my webcam, it'll show me here we've got GUVCView version 1.4.3. That is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the most new version available. It shows you a description of what it is, who the maintainer is, and if you click on it to go into it, you are greeted by some information about the package, some comments on what actually works, what doesn't work, things like that from the community. But basically there are two primary ways that you can add items from the Arch user repository to your system. The first way, which we're going to talk about first, is to go and actually download the package build and all the other required files and install it using this pacman-u command. So we'll go ahead and walk through that, and that will lead us into point 2. So the item we're going to install from the AUR using this method is called Yaourt, or Yaourt. I can't remember exactly how it's pronounced, Y-A-O-U-R-T. So if you go to Arch Linux, the AUR site, and type in Y-A-O-U-R-T, you will go to this page where you can download a tarball that has all the files you need. Now if I go ahead and click on that and tell it to save the file, it should save it to my desktop. And there we go, we've got a yaourt.tar.gz file saved. If I right click on that file and go to extract here, it will extract those files within it, and I can open the directory. You see in here we've got the package build and the Yaourt install file. Now if you want to, and you're recommended to do this, you can right click and open those with your text editor. You see all the text inside of it. It tells you what package it's going to pull it, where it's going to be downloading it from, what dependencies it needs, some optional dependencies that you can install but it doesn't automatically do, what actually does the installation for you, what it backs up. Again, these are just a lot of things you really should take a look at just to make sure you're getting what you think that you want. If you want to, you can also go into the install file, open that with your text editor, and this is exactly what it's going to be doing after the install and after the upgrade if you are upgrading. These are going to be different based on the package that you're installing. In this case, like I said, we're installing Yaourt. So if we open up a terminal and we cd to our desktop directory and then we cd into our Yaourt directory, if I type in ls, you'll see we've got those two files available. Now if I type in make package -s, this is going to attempt to resolve all the dependencies and make sure that it is installable the way that it is. And there we go, a very short amount of time later, it has downloaded the source, it has built the package for us, and it's ready to be installed. Now if I want to install this, I need to install the .xz file that was created. If I type ls again, you see we've got now a Yaourt, all this stuff .xz. Now assuming you've only got one item in the directory, this should be very easy to do. Type in sudo pacman-u star.xz. This is not really recommended, but like I said, if you've only got one .xz file in the directory, it shouldn't be a big deal. So we'll go ahead and hit enter on that, give it our password, and then here in just a moment, we will have the Yaourt package installed. There we go, it's saying, do you want to install it? Yes, I do. And it tells us what our optional dependencies were, and we are installed and ready to be used. So that's how you would install a package from the AUR. One thing I should probably mention is if you don't already have it installed, you need to install the base devel package. You can do that by typing sudo pacman-s base-devel. And when you go out, I've already got this installed, so it's not going to work for me because I installed it when I was installing the system. But it's got all these items that it's going to pull down that help you to compile software if you are interested in doing that. To install stuff from the AUR, you generally do have to compile it. But it's all done automatically, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to throw that out there. You do need the base devel group if you are going to be doing stuff from the AUR. But now that we've got Yaourt installed, that gets us to our second item, that's installing stuff using AUR helpers. Now an AUR helper is a package that will go out to the Arch user repository, pull down the package build information for whatever you're looking for, and install it for you, basically taking the place of your existing package manager, Pacman. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and type in Yaourt -SS, and I'm going to search for Clyde, because Clyde is another AUR helper that a lot of people do prefer. And you see when I searched for it, $S searches, we've got Clyde Git, which is a next generation make package wrapper. If I wanted to install from that, I can type Yowert -S Clyde-Git. If you're familiar with traditionally installing things in Arch, this is the same way that you would install things using Pacman. It's just got a different front end on it. So if I go ahead and hit enter there, it's going to download the package information, it's going to run the make package and look for all the dependencies. You see here we've got all the comments people have mentioned, things that are wrong with it, things that are right with it. If you want to, you can definitely edit the package build. That is recommended. It's not something I always do, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it my favorite editor, which is going to be Nano. And there we go, we've got the Clyde Git, the version that we're installing, the architectures that it does support. I've noticed several do not have this x86 64 on it. If you switch it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The AUR is entirely built and maintained by users, so it's hit or miss sometimes. But there we go, we've got dependencies, provides, conflicts, all of these things, the way to build it, fun stuff like that. When you're done looking at this, Control-X will exit it. We're going to tell it no, we don't want to edit the package build now. Yes, we want to continue building it. And here in just a minute, we should be built with the version of Clyde that is available. It has built it. We're going to say yes to continue installing it, yes to proceed with installation, and we're done. So now, we've installed something from the AUR using the package build we downloaded. We've installed something from the AUR using Yowert. And the third way that I normally do it is using Clyde. It does it exactly the same way as you would with Pacman or with Yowert, except you do need to use sudo in this case. So sudo Clyde-SS, and we're going to search for guvcview, which I already have installed. It says I don't have a Clyde configuration. You need to do this the first time. Yes. Your default text editor, Nano. And yes, that's correct. Additional defaults are set, that's fine. Keep in mind, with Clyde specifically, and only with Clyde, you have a Clyde configuration file that's generated that uses its own set of repositories and the AUR. So if you want to use Clyde, you can type in, like I said there, Clyde-SS guvcview would search for software. Sudo Clyde-S guvcview would install it for me if I wanted to. Or if you are feeling frisky, you can just type in Clyde-SYUA. And this may not be recommended. I've done it for a very long time and have never had a problem out of it though. Basically, the SYU you should be familiar with from updating Pacman. Adding A to the end, though, updates the AUR packages on your system. And there we go, we're doing a full system upgrade at this point. I'm not sure I want to do that at this moment, but why not? And there we go, after I told it to update, it did find some new packages in the AUR. It found a bunch of new packages from the repos. It's updating everything for me. I'm not going to go ahead and hit yes on that for the moment. I just want to finish this video up. But if you wanted to, you just hit yes and enter, and it will do the installation for you. It downloads and figures everything out. You have the opportunity to change and edit any of the package builds on the fly while you're installing it. So if there is something that's broken, you can fix it if you are so inclined. But yeah, that's about it as far as the AUR is concerned. There are loads and loads of packages available. If you open it up, you can search for whatever you like. There are, like I said, thousands and thousands of packages available. Here we go, packages and unsupported, 26,000 available from 26,000 registered users. If you do find a package and there is a problem with it, you can always go to the bugs list and add a bug report to it. You can go to the package itself here and add some information on what's wrong with it. But that's about it. Try out the AUR if you're an Arch user. If you haven't already, I'm going to be kind of surprised, but there are tons and tons of things available in it. That's all for today though. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.